What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. They are linked, as always, in the description to this video, so go ahead and check out their work. They help make these videos possible, so I want to give them a shout out. Getting into today's forecast, we do have more storms for you guys in Missouri, going to probably stay more towards the central part of the state, but we'll talk about the chances for some of the metro areas. And then getting into tomorrow, could have a risk all the way from the Colorado Front Range into the upper Midwest. So if you guys are in Denver, Pueblo, or Minneapolis, or anywhere in between, you got a chance to see some severe weather into tomorrow's forecast, so stay tuned for that. And then, of course, got to touch on the heat a little bit. It's hot, unsurprisingly, and we're going to talk about maybe where we could see some relief, some rain chances into the next 5 days. But before we get into our weather, make sure you guys come out and see us at our next All-Star Stadium Tour event. This one's going to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on July 26th. And Derek is the keynote speaker, so make sure to come out and say hello to him. Check out that event, and we'll be at more throughout the summer. Now, getting into the upcoming pattern here. All right, this is kind of what we're dealing with into today. We've got this shortwave trough here that's sparking some storms through the upper plains. Then we got a second larger trough that's going to keep sweeping things out through the Ohio Valley and the Northeast. As that scoops off to the east, yeah, we've got our heat dome on here now again, because it's really just kind of going to lift up into Canada and leave that nice hot air room to stretch out into the central U.S. So that means that our storm zone is going to stay pretty far north and associated with any of that dip in the jet stream that we get out from that. So pretty much right in between the heat dome and the jet stream here into tomorrow is where we'll see that storm corridor. Anywhere south of that heat dome there is just going to stay hot, keep baking. And so that's kind of what we got into the next few days. That trough moving off into the east, that's where we'll see our storm chances, and all that heat is staying out in the desert southwest. And again, just keep cooking everywhere out there. It's hot, and it's going to stay like that, unfortunately. Right now, we've got some storms that have been going through the Missouri area down into the Ohio Valley. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for that, for up to 2-inch hail as well as 75-mile-an-hour winds with this band. You can see it developing into a bow as it continues to track southeast. There it goes, pretty quickly intensifying as it reaches that nice warm air out ahead of it, and then more storms behind it with a potential for a hail risk later this afternoon. So watching that most closely for our concentrated severe risk, although we could see some storms out in the northeast and in the upper plains again with those disturbances. So watching that. And then for the rest of the nation, here's your heat index. Here's your feels like temperatures right now. Seeing a lot of triple digits across the south. 105 degrees is our, again, feels like temperature right now in Shreveport. Once you factor in that humidity, 111 in Corpus Christi, beating out Phoenix today, 105 in Phoenix. So Corpus Christi, you're a little bit warmer right now. The rest of us sitting in the 80s and 90s and waiting for that afternoon heat to kick in. So yeah, receiving much needed rain. We do need it to cool us off, and I mean, we're waiting for it down here in Oklahoma and Texas. Fingers crossed it moves through soon. But for Missouri, here's where our forecast instability is going to be sitting in this afternoon and evening. Again, we've got that bow that's moving through southeastern Missouri right now, and it's going to latch on to that instability as it tracks down to the southeast, help it continue to intensify with that mainly wind risk as it moves through Kentucky and Tennessee, but we could potentially see some hail out behind it. So getting into the northern plains risk, going to be a little bit more scattered, but we will have some storms developing through the eastern and kind of central part of the state around Bismarck. Those storms could potentially do some large hail as they stay isolated and track eastward, and then should kind of fizzle out once they move into the Minnesota corridor. Down into our main risk area for today, again, there it goes, watching that track. Honestly, it's past it, so this model's running a little bit further behind. But once that finishes going southeast, making its way towards the Kentucky border here, we're going to see that extend more into a stronger bow. Could potentially see some hail out ahead of it or potentially out behind it, and along it is going to be that high wind that we're watching moving through Paducah, Nashville, etc., sinking down to the southeast, and then we'll have that second band of storms forming into the overnight hours. Then for the northeast, pretty scattered, once again, kind of like the northern plains. Going to see those storms firing up in, Maine, all the way down into Connecticut, New York, a couple of them here and there. Could produce some high winds through the end of your workday and the evening hours. Should be offshore by around 3, 4 in the morning central, so that'd be 4 or 5 eastern, and should see a quieter morning for tomorrow. So for hail into today, those 3 areas outlined there, particularly watching this band here for severe storms. Now again, I think that down through the Mississippi Valley, it's going to be primarily a wind risk, but we could get a couple of severe stones reaching up to 2 inches through that area, and then ping pong to golf ball size stones up through North Dakota for the largest hail into today. Everywhere else could see some quarters to half dollars. Low-end chances pretty much across the whole Central Plains with any scattered storms that develop, and then better chances now probably shifting a little bit east of Bismarck with those storms developing through that corridor. Then down into the Mississippi Valley, if you're kind of in the southeastern corridor of Missouri, that's the best chance to see severe weather into today. St. Louis and Paducah, you guys could get hit with some severe hail with that second round of storms or with anything that stays broken off of that main band moving through. But again, everywhere else is going to be very isolated in terms of hail all the way through the northeast for today. Could potentially get some quarters, half dollars through that region. And we're really watching wind into this afternoon. We do have a couple more chances through the desert southwest, but really the bulk of the risk area is going to be, it's like halfway across the nation right now through the plains and into the northeast. For the plains, again, it's going to be low-end chances from Fargo all the way down into Kansas City for today. Mentioning your name because it's a really low end for you guys. But St. Louis, again, into Nashville has the best chance to see high winds, particularly Paducah. That band should be moving over you guys during the peak instability of the day. So it could potentially get some 70-mile-an-hour gusts or so here and there with that band. And then everywhere else, again, with those scattered storms, you're going to see those low-end severe chances for this afternoon and evening with the remainder of those storms. Then for tomorrow, could be a little bit more interesting. Going to stay scattered, but could potentially see some storm development along the Front Range and then up through Minnesota for our Minneapolis clients that you guys have been waiting. It's your season, and we don't know what's going on. Everything stayed down south. Could potentially get a flicker of storm activity into tomorrow by around 3 p.m., seeing those storms developing through parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota, that borderline there. And then another band up north of Omaha. As that all tracks down to the southeast, now we're seeing those isolated storms pop up, kind of get your attention for hail risks into tomorrow afternoon and evening. 6 p.m., it's going to be power hour for storms. Potential to see some large hail off of those, as well as anything that forms along or west of the Rocky Mountains into tomorrow could potentially get us some large hail. And then, of course, Nebraska doing Nebraska things with a chance for severe weather with those storms. So a few areas have that potential to see severe weather into tomorrow. Wind, tornadoes, and hail are all on the table at this point. But we're going to leave you guys with day 1 hail. We'll update you guys on the rest of the risks into tomorrow. For now, leaving hail size at ping pong to golf ball, we'll pinpoint where the largest hail could be into tomorrow's forecast. But if you guys are anywhere from Minneapolis, again, all the way down into the Front Range, you have a chance to see that large hail into tomorrow. Particularly Minneapolis and possibly even Omaha into tomorrow could see that larger hail passing through with those isolated storms. And then everywhere else, you're still in the mix. Potential from KC all the way off into the I-25 corridor to get that larger hail with those severe storms expected to track through tomorrow afternoon and evening. So that's going to be your day 2 forecast. Let's get into the heat. If you guys are anywhere really in the south right now, all the way from Mississippi to California, you got a chance to see crazy hot temperatures right now going on. If you're in a heat advisory, chances to see 100 to 110 degrees with that heat index. So really hot, really humid. Not a great time to be outside for a prolonged period of times, especially if you're, prone to heat illnesses. Not your day to be outside if you're through that area. And then if you're any of these pink polygons, that's where we have that excessive heat warning. If you're in the desert Southwest, temperatures, before you factor in heat index, just the straight temperatures are going to be 100 to 115 degrees. And then if you're in the central plains off into the southeast, then you're factoring in that heat index a little bit, but still, regardless, once it gets past like 100 degrees, at least to me, it's terrible. So, you know, it's going to continue to be dangerously hot. Down south is the bottom line. So drink water, stay inside, get some shade, get some rest, and just wait for these heat watches and warnings to eventually fizzle out as hopefully this cooler season comes quickly. But for our 5-day rain chances, that's our only chance at relief right now. The southeast, you guys are in it, fortunately, to help you stay below those triple-digit temperatures, especially, you know, the Ohio Valley with a lot of rain over the next 5 days. But the Central Plains, you guys also could see some relief from that crazy heat. No good news for you, unfortunately, if you guys are in the desert Southwest or Texas right now. But for your 5-day, I guess day-by-day forecast here, going to start out today with those Mississippi Valley and Southeast storms. Then into tomorrow, we'll have those storms moving through the plains, but they'll be pretty scattered. Could potentially see more activity that should stay below severe limits through the southeast. So that rain will help you out. Then we're back into the Central Plains for Thursday and Friday, and then just a couple of scattered storms through the southeast on Saturday, but again, enough to hopefully give us little rounds of relief from that oppressive heat that we're seeing this July. So now I'm going to leave you guys at the end of our show here with our 3-star map from yesterday. Should have mentioned that earlier, but we got one through Missouri for you guys. So just southeast of Kansas City, you guys have that dome over you or whatever. You guys really avoid those storms, but 5-inch hail photographed on that. So crazy large hail with that storm there. And then we got 3 inches off in rural Missouri. Just missed Springfield with those quarters to half dollars, but some pretty substantial hail basically through southwestern Missouri. St. Louis did get hit, so that's going to be the bulk of our 3-star yesterday. We got 2 inches through Spanish Lake, 2.5 inches just to the southeast of St. Louis, making its way towards Belleville. But regardless, pretty large hail through Missouri yesterday. Could potentially see a little bit of that today. It's going to be more wind-driven, like I said. So if you're looking for that map, you guys can go ahead and check it out. It's called Harrisonville, St. Louis, Missouri, Taylorsville, or I guess Taylorville, Indiana, hail. So if you guys already have our products, you guys can go ahead and access that map. If you don't have our products yet and you want to check that out, just go ahead and scan that QR code up above me or click the link in our description and we'll get you a demo, help you out, help you find that map. But yeah, the max size on that was 5 inches and it impacted overall, with all those hail swaths, over 160,000 homes. So pretty big day for Missouri into yesterday. Could potentially see more storms into today. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on. You guys can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. Smash that subscribe button everywhere else. Go ahead and check us out on the TikTok, guys. We do live forecasts every now and then with discussions, and we have our behind-the-scenes chase footage. Who doesn't love that? So follow us. We're at Hail Trace on everything, so we're easy to find. And then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245, email us at info@hailtrace.com, or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And stay cool out there, stay safe from any severe weather if you're in any of those risk areas, and stay tuned to our pages, and we'll let you guys know what's going on with your risks as they come at you. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.